Okay folks, welcome to another Friday Waffle. At least it's Friday. Yeah, how are you? I'm alright. Kind of back in the swing of things with the job and all that. It's always a bit horrible going back to work after being off for like 2 weeks. So I'm always kind of glad to kind of get back to routine again. Not that I don't like being off work, but it's good to get back to routine. And I think when you're off for such a long time as well, you don't appreciate it. You know, every day just becomes another day. You get up way too late. At least when you're at work, you've got the weekend to look forward to. You know, so anyway, yeah, I hope you're all excuse me, doing okay. Excuse me, a quick drink of my coffee. But yeah, I'm fine. If I'm looking a bit like shit, it's because last night I probably got an hour's sleep all in. Now I'm not going to go into any details for obvious reasons, but suffice to say, one of my dogs kept waking me up. And yeah, it was quite a stressful night. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. And it involved cleaning the floor as well, so you can probably kind of guess where I'm going with that. But yeah, he did it 5 times last night, and I quite literally, I would get up, clean the mess, go back to bed, and then about 40 minutes later, repeat. And this went on all night last night, and then when I eventually got to bed, fell asleep, the alarm was going off and it was time to get up. So I can't believe I've actually just told you that, but anyway, there you go. This is a warts and all, after all. So apart from cleaning dog shit, what else have I been up to? Hopefully you'll notice I've been putting out some videos, some non-live videos. I'm enjoying doing that, and one of the videos that I've kind of got back into doing is not the Friday Waffle, the 10-minute kerfuffle. 10-minute kerfuffle. I can't even remember I've got that many stupid names for videos. I can't even remember the name of them. The 10-minute mashup, and it means I'm actually getting a chance to play games again, which is good. So I'm going to hopefully continue getting content out. My subscriber numbers have started to climb a wee bit, not fast, but I am edging towards the magical 4,000. Who would have thought, eh? Yeah, it's a bit mental, but you know. But then you hear the other channels, they go from like 0 to like 2 million in like a year. What's that all about? But no, listen, I do appreciate people taking time to watch my videos. Subscribing, you know, that's always nice when you do that. So yeah, what have I been doing this week from a gaming perspective? Apart from making videos, I'll tell you what I've been doing, and I'm going to be doing a video. I bought the Raspberry Pi 400 when it came out. I don't know, 2 years ago, something like that. I like the form factor. It's an all-in-one keyboard, and it's got a built-in Raspberry Pi 4. I think it's slightly more powerful than the 4. And I bought it, and I probably used it about twice. And it is sat underneath my table right there, my living room table, unused for about the best part of 2 years. And I thought to myself, you know, what is the purpose of having that? I should just get rid of it. Until one of my mates made me aware of a thing called Pi-Mega. Now Pi-Mega is, it emulates an Amiga. Now it's not true Workbench, it's somebody has actually written their own version of Workbench, but they've written it in such a way that it's far more flexible, it's far more kind of high spec, up to date, so you can do a lot more things with it than you could with the original Workbench. But what this effectively does, it turns this little keyboard into a completely top end Commodore Amiga. I mean, I think it's easily running at twice the speed of an Amiga 4000, and it's something ridiculous like 1200 times quicker than an A600. Now, I have the Pi Amiga. It's up to version 3. It's one guy that actually does it. It's up to version 3, and I was running 1.5, I think it was, and I just found it a wee bit fiddly, and I don't know, I wasn't really that impressed with it. But this thing absolutely blew my mind. The stuff you can do with this. I mean, just imagine getting the best Amiga you could possibly get. That's what this thing is, and it's now turned this this doorstop into something that I've been using. That's what I've been using it all week. I have actually had a couple of attempts at making a video, and without success, because just the way I was filming it, and it just didn't really work out. So I am hoping to get a video probably put out next week, just showing you what the Pi 400 is, and is this possibly the best Amiga ever. Thing is, if I get that work, well, I have got it working, it's going to get to a stage where I will sell stuff. Now, I've always said that I'm going to keep my Commodore 64, my Commodore Amiga. I don't know. I'm definitely going to keep my Commodore 64 because, yeah, it's a Commodore 64. Definitely going to hang on to that. But depending on how money goes in that, I might end up selling my Amiga. But I want to try and get my hands on a Mister. Now, one of my friends was going to try and get me a Mister, and it's not really worked out. It's been about 4 months, and I'm not sure what's going on. So one of my other friends has kindly offered to build me a Mister. Now, I know it's meant to be as simple as Lego, a couple of bits, and away you go. But you know me. So one of my mates has kindly offered to buy the parts and build it for me. So I'm going to take him up on his very, very kind offer, because I think once I do get a Mister and I get it up and running and I see what it can do, then I think it's only going to be a matter of time before I start really, really selling stuff. I've mentioned before, if there's any particular system that you might be interested in, I mean, the stuff that I'm going to be selling, let me think, I've got a ColecoVision, I've got an Atari 7800, I've got an Atari 800, the original tank version, that's what I call it at least, Atari 800 XL, there's loads of stuff. I want to get rid of most of it. So if there is anything that you quite fancy, give me a shout and I'm sure we'll come to some kind of agreement with price and that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's kind of been it. I mean, I did a live stream last Saturday, and didn't do one on Sunday. Yeah, did it on Saturday, and yeah, I've been knocking out, done a couple of videos, but that's been it. I've not really been doing a great deal, apart from picking up dog shit, but anyway. So anyway, listen, what I'm going to do now, I've not really got anything particular that I want to kind of rabbit about tonight, so I'm just going to go straight to the questions, if I've got any. So if this is an extra short waffle, it's all your fault. Right, let's have a look. If you can hear some snoring sound, that'll be my dog. He's probably knackered as well after getting no sleep. Right, let's have a look. Friday Waffle 13-1. Right, in fact, wait a minute, I need to jump to the one before, because last week's I did it with Paul. Right, anyway, let's run through these. I don't know if there's any questions in this lot. Retro Ross, cheers for the shout out, Alan. Enjoyed the chat on the night. I've been watching your channel for 5 or 6 years now, so I felt I already knew you, mate. Nah, good stuff, Ross. It was nice to see you, mate. It really was. Milfy Swinbuckle. Question for next waffle. Which games that you have enjoyed the most throughout your gaming life have been the most simple in design, and the opposite as well, as in the most complex that you've enjoyed and mastered? Whoa, bloody hell, Milfy, you know me. If a game is even remotely complicated, I'm out. I was laughing. I was watching Lacosa doing one of his Elite Dangerous videos, and I just commented about how amazing the game looks. And he made a comment saying he doesn't understand why I don't play the game. You know, he goes, "You've got the game, why don't you play it?" The problem I've got is games like that do take up a lot of time. Just ask Lacosa or Panther about that. They do take up a lot of time, and the chances of me getting to the stages and levels that Lacosa gets to is not going to happen. So I enjoy watching these kind of videos, because again, it's an absolutely stunning looking game. So that's pretty much the reason. I've not got the patience to stick with games that take up too much time. But anyway, let's get back to the question in hand. Is there a game that's, well, which games have you enjoyed throughout your gaming life have been the most simple in design? Well, I mean, I suppose most of the games that I really like are 8-bit arcade, so they're all pretty simple. But one game that I've been playing a lot, and you couldn't get a simpler game, and I can't even remember, Vampire Chronicles. It's the one, you've seen it before, it's the one that Dell makes videos about. It's a ridiculously simple game. Even Kim Justice was going on about how good the game is. You control a character, move up, down, left and right. You don't fire, well, you do fire, it's all automatic firing. All you do is move. You control the character. You pick up power-ups and it'll, power up, funnily enough. It's so simple. So, I mean, I've been playing that quite a lot. And that's the thing, I enjoy simple games. Most of the games that I play, your Robotron, your Defenders or Galaxian, they're ridiculously simple. And that's the kind of game I enjoy, because you don't have to spend ages learning buttons and all this kind of stuff. How many times have you played a current game? When I say current game, I mean a game like on the Xbox 360. How many times you played a game in it, and then you stop playing it, and then you go back and you try and play it, and you've completely forgotten all the controls. Incidentally, I'm just going to do a quick segue. I've made no secret that one of my favourite, absolutely my favourite PlayStation 4 game, though I did complete it. I did complete it in the PlayStation 3. Just got a fright there, so you ever walk past. Was Last of Us. It came out. It was released by Naughty Dog. It came out in the PlayStation 3, and then it came out in the PS4. There's not a great deal of difference. I would actually struggle to tell you if there's any difference. But it's an absolutely phenomenal game, and they've just released a TV series called Last of Us. It's the guys that are in it. The guy that plays Joel is, I don't even know his name. It's the guy that got his head smashed in on Game of Thrones by the Mountain. I can't remember. I don't know his name. And the girl that plays Ellie, she was also in Game of Thrones. So I've watched the first 40 minutes, and it's quite interesting to watch a film that is based on a computer game. Now, I know there's been games in the past, or films in the past, like, I don't know, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter. There's never really been a story-led game that I'm aware of that turned into a film. But it's interesting. I mean, I think it's a lot of the dialogue that they use. A lot of the dialogue that they use in the TV programme is exactly the dialogue from the game. And I think that's kind of testament to the fact of how good The Last of Us is as a game. yeah, if you have not played the game, go and play it. If you have not watched the TV series, go and watch the TV series. It's not 100% true. I mean, it's based on it, but they've kind of embellished it. They've padded it out a wee bit, so there's a bit more substance to the what do you call it, to the program. But yeah, really enjoying it. I'm going to actually watch the remaining. It's 1 hour 20, I think it is, per episode. I don't know how many episodes there's going to be. So I've watched the first 40 minutes. I'm probably going to try and watch the last kind of half tonight as well. So anyway, yeah, Milthy, getting back to your question. Simple games, kind of arcade games. All the games that I play are all very simplistic. Has there been any... What's the most complicated game that I've played? Complicated for me means there's 2 buttons. There's a jump and a fire. Nah, I suppose... I don't know. Something like Command and Conquer or Warcraft. I suppose even Elite. I mean, I'm talking about 8-bit Elite or 16-bit Elite. I suppose that would be technically classed as a complicated game, not for anyone else, only for me. Because I tend to avoid complicated games because I don't know, I don't get on with them. I've got the attention span of a gnat. I get bored very easily. If I get stuck in a game, then I just kind of move away from it and don't go back to it, or else I'll start playing a game and then I'll get another game and I'll play that, and then I end up not going back to the original one. So yeah, anyway, great question. And secondly, which real life games have you played that have crossed over into a computer game do you think are the best? Sorry, and secondly, which real life games have you played that have crossed over into a computer game? So I'm not with you. And are there any games that perhaps started off as a computer game that you've played that have been made into a real life game? Or any computer game that you think would work as a real life game? Ah, right, okay. Yeah, you're talking about... Yeah, is there games that could... Bloody hell, you're talking about Archon. That could be converted into a real life game. I suppose it could, though. Technically, you wouldn't get the kind of one-on-one sort of fighting part of it. I'll need to just read that again, see if you can understand this. And secondly, which real life games have you played that have crossed over into a computer game? So you're talking about something like drafts. We've all played drafts. Chess are the best. And are there any games that perhaps started off as a computer game? I was going to say something like... I was going to say golf, but then you can't really compare. You can't really compare computer golf with real golf because it's nothing like each other. They're completely different. But then there's very, very few games, I would say. There's very few sport games or whatever that I would say actually replicate real life. Tell you one thing though, there's a game, what's it called? Is it 11 or something? I can't remember. It's a table tennis game for the Oculus Rift, and it is absolutely phenomenal. The realism is incredible. When you're playing it, you really, really do think you're playing table tennis. But that's always a VR game. I'm trying to think, Milthy, I can't think. I mean, all the games that I kind of like Robotron, I couldn't imagine Robotron or Defender turning into a real life type game. Has there been any computer game that you think would work as a real life game? Is there any? Pipeline, nah, I really don't fancy getting chased with lobsters and what have you. I tell you come up with some absolute stonking questions, and unfortunately a lot of them I'm always unable to answer. I know when Dale answers his, he always gives much better answers, but I think he cheats slightly. I think he does actually. I think he kind of looks at the question before he records his kind of blog, whereas I don't. I just read it and then try and give an answer, which doesn't always work. I think I'm going to have to come back to that, Milty, but listen, thank you very much, mate. I mean, I really do appreciate you always take time to ask questions, and it is appreciated. Colin Jones, don't get me started on this government. Was that more than about government? My anger towards them at the moment is higher than anything I've ever felt. Colin can complete donut dodo in easy medium difficulty. Right, we're talking about nostalgia, and this is Colin's taking it. The reason we have nostalgia is for things were different that we look back on fondly. For our generation, it's the evolution of technology. For the next generation, it'll be something different, but there will still be nostalgia. Yeah, absolutely. I don't think the nostalgia will be quite the same. It might well be the same. I don't know. It'll be something completely different. But yeah, I'm sure there absolutely will be. Right, waffle question. If money was no object, what car would you choose to buy? I'm not really into my cars at all. I would struggle to name cars, but a car that I've always I thought if I was ever to like win millions in the lottery, I would buy a Lamborghini. There you go. I did have a plastic one that I got for my Christmas many moons ago, but yeah, Lamborghini. If I didn't have a lot of money, I would like to get an MG midget, a little soft top. I know these cars, they're really hard to maintain, they're expensive, but yeah, I always fancied a little kind of sports car. That'd be nice. Wee Bobat, short waffle it was, but I enjoyed listening along while munching my lunch. As for coming on your channel, it is something I would quite like to do and I've thought about mentioning. Well, you know, you're always welcome, Bob. Maybe at some point this year I'll get the bravery to give you a shout. Well, just do it, mate, honestly. Anyway, question for next time, if I can think of one and may have asked it before. Question, Desert Strike is one of my all-time favourite games. It was massive. Sorry, it was a massive step up from the game Cyclone on the Spectrum, and I played it to death. Can you think of any other games that have a helicopter in them which you thought were amazing or at least good? Anyway, cheers again for waffling away and hope you're having a great weekend. Helicopter games. Well, I was playing, what was I playing? Super Huey on the Saturday stream by, I can't even, Access Software, I think it was. I mean, what other helicopter games? There was Gunship, which I never played because I always try and avoid, just going back to Milty's question, any game that requires any strategy or, you know, remotely complicated, then I'm out. So Gunship, I mean, my mates are all over that, but I wasn't. What else? There is Thunderhawk as well. There is also Tiger Heli. Now, Tiger Heli is a great shoot 'em up. It used to be my go-to shmup back in the day in the arcades because I thought it was easy. But see, I've played it since then and it is damned impossible. It is rock hard, it really is. So anyway, Bob, thank you very much, mate. And is that, oh, hang on, ZX Spectrum. Yeah, we've got a guy here, ZX Spectrum 128. He keeps asking me questions. When does MAME come with tools to rip graphics, audio and code, please? Well, Google, mate. I know I'm called the MAME Meister, but yeah, just use Google like most of us. Mr. Bill Harbison has said, Giesabel and I'll talk pish with one night. Just you let me know, Bill, and I will get you on the channel in a heartbeat. Right, that was all the questions from 2 weeks ago. Let me just see if there's any questions. I don't think when you do, in fact, no, that wasn't a live one. Last week's wasn't live. Oh, hang on, I'm looking at the wrong one. Friday Waffle with 13th. Right, don't know if there's many questions, we'll have a look. Steve Packer. Oh, hang on, yeah, top. I'd like to see the C64 Salamander given the nostalgia treatment, add in the missing levels and redraw the main ship. Yeah, Paul and I were talking about nostalgia, not nostalgia as in what we're talking about earlier on. Nostalgia is the groupie, I was going to say hackers, they're not hackers, they're hobbyists who did the Commando arcade and also Ghosts and Goblins arcade, and I've just bloody well come out the questions here. Yep, and Steve saying he would like to see a C64 Salamander. What games would I like to see? I think we mentioned it last week. I'd love to see a decent Rolling Thunder. What else? I'm trying to think. Yeah, I don't know. I think, in fact, Ox mentioned that I would love to see. You know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see a new track and field. Now, there was an official track and field that came out. It was released by Konami in the C64. I don't think it ever got a release in the UK. It kinda looks like track and field, but the graphics are ridiculously blocky, mega blocky, and it's also far too easy. Hang on, let me just get back in here anyway. So yeah, I would like to see track and field given the nostalgia treatment, and I would also like to see Hypersports put in the pole. What do you call it? The pole vault. Martroid, we need an 80s American Canadian 64 user on to give us their take. If Robert wants to come on my channel, he's more than welcome. Yep, Ox is saying that I'd like to see Nostalgia redo Hypersports and add the missing pole vault. Pole vault, I should say. Hang on. Right, listen, folks. That is that's the end of the questions. So apologies about a rather lacklustre Friday Waffle. You know me by now, but it's the same people. I mean, on average I get probably about 180 to 200 views on the waffle. So I'm assuming it's the same people that watch the waffle over and over again. Not over and over again. You watch every waffle. Now I'm putting an appeal out here to everybody that watches the waffle. There's people that obviously I don't know. You never like say hello or anything. You never comment. Please, if there is something that you want to hear me talk about, doesn't matter, you know, preferably regarding computer games, then just put a comment down below, because I do need your support. Without questions, the waffle will not continue to exist. Does that make sense? Yeah, it does. So I do need questions. Get them out. Right. I might not get a Sunday stream out this Sunday. It depends. I'm just going to leave it at that. I have created a new Mainmeister, what's it called? Mainmeister YouTube channel, Facebook page. If you do Facebook, get your arse over. What's it called? I think it's www.facebook.com/Mainmeister. I think that'll get you to it. But yeah, go and like the page, and that way when I make any announcement, I put a post on Facebook, you're going to get to see it. So there may or may not be a Sunday stream. If there is, I'll tell you. It'll be both in Discord and also on Facebook. So anyway, guys, listen, I'm going to get going. I hope you all have a really nice weekend. And as always, guys, thank you very much for watching.